Good afternoon, grade 12 mathematical literacy learners, my fellow colleagues, subject advisors, and mathematical literacy grade 12 teachers. I hope you are doing well in 2021. I'm seeing you for the first time, talking to you for the first time in 2021. And I want to apologize for starting behind time, but I'm not going to be long. I'm just going to take 1 hour. And the purpose of today is to go through the preparation of our test for grade 12 that is going to be written on the 19th of April. I hope everything is in order, teachers. Your learners are ready. My name is Martin Chabalala, the Provincial Coordinator of Mathematical Literacy. And really, I want to really thank IBP for affording me time to talk to you this afternoon. And let me take this opportunity to really thank my colleagues who did well last year for the class of 2020 also. They did absolutely well for achieving position 1 in mathematical literacy in the whole country. Yes, we really did well. And we are so also elated that our 2 districts, which is Lijweleputswa and Tamamfutsenyana, they were among 10 top districts in mathematical literacy in the whole country. So we want to congratulate them. Thank you very much for a job well done. But in general, again, we are the champions, Free State in mathematical literacy. And we are looking forward to maintain that position. But we can only do that if we can work very hard with the class of 2021 so that they should not take the flag down, but raise it higher and higher. And we are so also excited that the numbers of our level 7s are increasing, and we are looking forward again for more numbers in level 7s so that our learners can be really in a good position to be admitted in higher institutions, higher institutions whenever they want to further their studies after matric. All right. We are going to really use this 60 minutes for just to look what is going to be in our paper for test, the test paper. And grade 12s, I know that you are really busy with your teachers. You are finishing term 1 work. I will quickly start with what is in term 1 so that you can know exactly what is in term 1. Then we can go straight to more or less similar questions that will appear in our grade 12 test 1 that is planned for the 19th of February. And whatever I'm going to say today is not going to be only what can be on the paper. Anything can appear on the paper. But what is important is that it will be the work of term 1. So it is very important, my fellow teachers, that you really finish all the work of term 1. Let's just recap and see what is in term 1 before we can go to the layout of our test for this term. All right. We all know that for grade 12 term 1, our work is as follows. I know that you have applied for about 3 days or take about 2 to 3 days, colleagues dealing on basic skills. Basically, we are not focusing a lot on basic skills because the learners have been doing the basic skills in grade 10, even grade 11. And we know that basic skills is part of the questions, but it is very important that our learners know how to convert. They must know the ratios, they know the proportions, rounding, etc., etc. So I know that you have touched on that and you have not wasted time on that, because as you continue with other content topics, basic skills are still fused in there. So I think you have applied about, or you have taken about 3 days in dealing with basic skills. And from there you moved to finance. And we know that finance, for term 1, you're supposed to have done financial documents. We've got different types of financial documents that you can do. We can talk about the till slips, we can talk about the quotations, we can talk about the invoices, we can talk about the bank statement. All types of financial documents your learners must be exposed to. And you grade 11s, you must really know what are the financial documents. And let us not forget that for 2021, we have a new structure of final paper. So it is very important to know about the new structure, but your teachers will tell you more how will be the final, the new structure in the final examination. But today we are just focusing on the test preparation. And still under finance, You should have done taxation. I know that some of the teachers are still busy with taxation as we speak now. And we have VAT, income tax. Those are the part of taxation. And we know that it's quite huge taxation. And we need to apply your mind when you're doing taxation. And our learners must be really what you call sharp with the basics like VAT, etc. And besides finance, you under finance, besides taxation, you still need to do tariffs. And the tariffs can be either water tariffs, electricity tariffs, telephone tariffs, transport tariffs, parking tariffs, etc., etc. So you grade 12s, you must be exposed to this type of tariffs. And surely I know that the person who has set the what you call the test for this term has included the question of tariffs. We'll talk about that. And I'm also happy that last year we managed to actually invite our colleagues from different schools to sit down and set these papers. So these papers were set by your teachers and from different districts. So it's not coming from us as subject advisors, but it comes from the teachers, but it's going to be administered commonly at provincial level. And still under finance, cost and selling price, grade 12s. Know about cost and selling price, know about income and expenditure, budgets, etc., etc. And one other important topic or section under finance, it is simple and compound interest. You must be conversant about simple and compound interest. And I think your teachers have already exposed you to these topics. And the last topic that you're supposed to be knowing for term 1, I'm talking about only term 1 work. It is central tendency under data handling. That's one section under data handling. And the other one is measure of spread. And when you talk about the measure of spread, you talk about the range, the interquartile range. And going back to central tendency, I can see that others are so surprised. What is now central tendency? No, when I'm talking about central tendency, my grade 12s, I'm talking about your mean, your mode, and your what? Your median. Oh, I can see someone say, wow, oh, Mr. Chubalala, you should have said that central tendency is all about the median, the mode, and the median. So that we call that measure of central tendency. Then the measures of spread, we have aspects like range, interquartile range, etc., etc. Then you must know how to represent data. And when you talk about representation, you can represent your data either by using the bar graph, the line graph, the histogram, the pie chart, etc., etc. So basically, you must be conversant with that. And I've seen, or yes, I suspect that also there will be a question about representation in our coming test of the 19th of April. And one of the graphs will appear there. So you better do all the graphs so that you can be ready for data handling. And also, I saw the question regarding measure of spread. So know your measures of spread very well and be conversant with it, be confident, because there will be a question based on that measures of spread. And there will definitely also be a question based on measures of central tendency, like your medians, your mode, and your mean. Are you okay? Yes, so far so good. Now let's continue now to zoom in what you call in our possible questions. We're going to zoom in the possible questions of our test. Now it must be known that our test is just only one question. Basically, we don't have paper 1 or paper 2 in the test. It's just a test. And the test of this year, it will consist of 3 questions. How many questions? 3 questions, my grade 12s. You must know that. And it will be out of 60 marks, not 50 marks like that Chawala has written there, because my math is not okay there. Can you see that? Because 15 plus 20 gives you 35, 35 plus 25 gives you 60. Very sorry for that. That is how much it is your 60 marks here, not 50 marks. Right, and basically it will be close to 1 hour or 1 hour 20 minutes, and it will depend how your teachers will give you, but the total marks is 60 marks. And let's check how do we break all the questions, the marks according to each and every question. Question 1. Question 1, we are expecting cost and selling price as well as probability. Cost and selling price as well as probability. And you should have seen that when I was in the previous slide where I was showing you the work of term 1. Cost and selling price, it is part of term 1 work. I can see you are looking to each other. Have we done this? No, I know that your teachers, yes, they have done this, cost and selling price as well as probability. If they have not done that, you still have time. Today we have it is the 6th of April. They still have about around about 12 to 13 days that they can still do this topic. Don't worry, don't worry. Your teacher is going to make sure that you understand cost and selling price. There must be questions based on this so that you can be ready. I want you to take all that marks of question 1. 15 marks. Grab that 15 marks and put it in your pocket. Voila! And say, no, I'm confident that I've got that 15 marks of question 1. Then question 2. Question 2, it will be based on tariffs. Okay? Tariffs for 20 marks. And not only tariffs, it will be also simple and compound interest. And you should have seen that in the previous slide again. You should have seen that in the previous slide, what you call the tariffs and the simple and compound interest, they were also there. I want to correct this quickly, don't worry, so that it can be 60 marks. It disturbs me. Let me do this. Yes. Yeah. We are going back to that. Then it will be question 1, it will be 15 marks, and question 2, 20 marks. We are talking about tariffs, water, or electricity. One of the tariffs will appear. So you see, I've scaled it down. Remember, we've got lots of tariffs. Those tariffs can be telephone tariffs, it can be parking tariffs, can be transport tariffs. But Ntate Chabalala is giving you now that we are going to focus on water or electricity tariffs. So go and prepare yourself in one of those types of tariffs. And for sure, we are going to have a question for under simple and compound interest. And the last question for 25 marks, it will be data handling. It will be what? Data handling. Yes, that's what we are doing in Maths Lit. Data handling, we are working with statistics. We work with data here. And you should have seen also that in the previous slide that this is part of term 1 work. We cannot ask you what is not in this term. So meaning that basically the test is going to be based on the work that was done in term 1. So under data handling, we are going to focus on central tendency. Central tendency and measures of spread. So meaning that under central tendency, expect median, mode, or what you call mean. And under measures of spread, expect IQR. IQR stands for what now, Mr. Chabalala? Yes, Tabo. I can see that, you are telling your friend that that is interquartile range. Interquartile range. Yes, that's Maths Lit. And we are going to have a question also on the graphs. And the question on the graphs, it will be either a bar graph. I repeat, it will either be a bar graph. It can also be a histogram. It can also be what you call a line graph. So, or a pie chart. But there is one graph that I've repeated twice there. So you must just, make a deduction that as to which one will be that. So basically this is how our paper is going to be laid out. So meaning that we are expecting 60 marks with 3 questions. Question 1, 15 marks. Question 2, 20 marks. Question 3, 25 marks. Question 1, cost and selling price and probability. Question 2, tariffs, simple and compound interest. Question 3, data handling, central tendency, IQR, and crafts. And for 25 marks, and the total is 60 marks. I really need to emphasize that this test, it forms part of your SBA. I repeat, my beautiful and handsome grade 12s. Grade 12 test 1, it will be part of your SBA. What is SBA, Mr. Chabalala? SBA is school-based assessment. And it counts a 10%, which is about 25% of your final examination. So it is very important that you do well in all these smaller tasks like your tests, your investigations, your assignments. I'm pleading with you, take them seriously because they can impact negatively, not positively, towards your final marks of your examination at the end of the year. So I know some of you are saying, these tests are wasting time. These investigations are wasting time. These assignments are wasting time. No, I'm telling you now that it is very important that you do well because they will also be added to your final examination marks. So really work hard and make sure that if you have written a test out of 60 marks, make sure that you come up with level 7 of that 60 marks, meaning that you get more than 80% in your test investigation assignment. I'm pleading with you. I know that you are going to listen, you are listening to me, and you're not going to disappoint me. You're going to make sure that you do well in this coming test. And listen to your teachers, whatever they give you, especially when they are giving you the exercises that you practice that are related to this particular test. Ensure that you really do everything. And remember, things that are not going to be appear in this test might appear in the examination, either June or prep examination or final. We are not sure whether about the June examination, whether it will be there or not, but we will communicate to you whether it will be there or not. But take it as if it is there. I know that other teachers are going to make big tests in June that will also be part of your SBM. So ensure that you really work hard. I'm just going to scan on the possible questions that can come when coming to our our test. And like I said before, that these questions are not the ones that are going to be there, but they can be similar to the questions that we are going to find. So ensure that you really prepare with your teacher any other possible questions that can come, and I'm looking to possible questions that can appear, yes. I will take them from other, other questions that, question papers that were similar, so that you can know exactly how will the paper look like. And I won't do all the answers for them, but I just want to show you how will the test, look like. Okay, now let me switch off this from the PowerPoint. I go to my document camera so that we can really see what will be in the test. Possible questions, not exactly. Okay, Yes, just take a break, small break. Okay, welcome back, our grade 12s. I've taken this question from paper 2 of 2020. It was just a prep exam in one of the provinces. And which question is this one? It's related to what, if you can see? Answer me. Good, good. This question is similar to the one of the cost and selling prices. And it's all about the hire purchase, etc. So more or less you can find a question like this. I'm sorry. There might be an item or a question